Welcome to the GPU. Today we will be narrating an award-winning horror story developed by our own creator. The Twilight I Loath. Let's begin. I was sitting on my bed doing nothing that day and was feeling super bored. Just staring at the wall doesn't make anyone happy. Moreover, my parents are not at home too. Just then I stared out of my window and saw the beautiful weather. It was cloudy, but not raining. And being a nature fan, after seeing that weather, I immediately began imagining greenery, beautiful farms, beautiful trees, and also the beautiful rivers. And at last I began imagining the majestic boat rides, all those laid outside my city. And seeing the chance, I decided to get ready and sat before my mirror, preparing myself to get set go. When I went out of my house, I again looked at the weather and realized how pleasing it was, so pleasing that it could heal anyone's mind. I was so happy looking at the weather. Just then, my favorite neighbor, Bimla auntie, called me. She asked me, "Where are you going? You're getting ready to go somewhere?" Huh? I replied, "Yes, actually my parents are not at home, Bimla auntie. So I thought just that I should enjoy some greenery on my bike." She then started laughing. I was baffled. I asked, "Why are you laughing? There's nothing to laugh." She was again laughing. I was now getting a bit confused, actually more confused, and I asked her again the reason. Then she said, "My village is so beautiful, don't you remember? I told you about it. It has got full greenery you'll enjoy." I remembered, and since it was in the city, I decided to go with my favorite neighbor too. So we sat in our car and the journey began. She began telling me about the beautiful insects home, the beautiful birds flying, the eventful twilight, and everything. I was so happy to hear these things, and again I began imagining all those beautiful things. She told me firstly about the summer, so I started imagining the summer. Then I imagined the beautiful animals and birds that would be present in there. Then I remembered the beautiful twilight that might come there. And when we reached, it was indeed like that. There were many animals. It was all greenery, such a beautiful twilight. There was a big farm. There were all cows and the beautiful red sky. Oh my God, how better could it get? I was just so happy seeing all this. The twilight looked amazing, just so natural. I saw a bird flying all the way. Then I saw many ducks quacking on their way around. Quack quack, quack quack. The ducks were in such a discipline, it just melted my mind. After that I took the photographs of some nests. I was so happy with Bimlanti. The Bimlanti said to me that how was I liking it. I then replied, "Oh Bimlanti, thank you so much." She said, "Okay, now come to my house." I was offered a seat. Her house was really beautiful, filled with curtains, 2 wardrobes, 1 shelf, and 1 cupboard. Her house was just too good. I was enjoying the company of my favorite neighbor. I was just looking around, hither and hither. Now I have a bad habit. Whenever I go to a new person's house, I always look for the toilet first. And I noticed it here too. And Bimlanti was changing in the bedroom. So I decided to move to the toilet without telling her. I went to the toilet. The toilet was very beautiful. I saw a photograph lying. When I picked it up, things changed. I suddenly got shocked. It was the photo of a victim of the unlucky 9 killing and the victim's face appeared in our graph that morning. I was so petrified, and the photo that laid here was a naked, dead body filled with blood. I began sweating like never before. Things suddenly took a turn, and suddenly the lights went off, and the door opened. When I went towards the door, what I saw just totally got the shit out of me. I was just staring. She was holding a hammer and came towards me to hit. I just kicked her and went to the drawing room. It was all dark. There was a dead body lying in the bed. I did not notice it. The TV was still going on. I then went to the front door. I then was happy a bit and tried to open the door, but it would not open. That witch must have done some trick with that too. I was so terrified. I was so regretting then. Oh my god. Then she suddenly attacked me again, but I threw something at her and she moved away. And I heard her falling. And yeah, she fell. I took the hammer at the right time and began hitting at the door. And when I hit at the door, I somehow got out and just drove the car like a madman. I didn't know my destination. I was just driving it. Post this incident, she was put into an asylum, and so was I, since I caught clinical depression and constant nightmares after that fucking night. The bad thing was that I was in the next room, the room exactly next to her. I was so terrified. I was in the same asylum where that serial killer was. Many dead bodies were even discovered at her home. And the fun fact was that killings continued until she died in that asylum at the age of 60. Now 30 years have passed. I'm a man with a family now, and I've got a very beautiful wife who is working, and also a beautiful son. Me and my son share a very good relationship. We are not strict or stereotypical. One night he came to me and said, "Jerry, I need to go outside. One of my friends was hit in an accident. I need to stay with him. Will you allow me?" I thought for a while, and then said, "Yes, you can go, but try to return soon." Now I was alone at the house, and was awaiting for my son. My son and me are very good friends. I always say yes to his wishes, but keep in mind that he doesn't betray me, especially when he's going out. We are just the best of mates. He went to his bike and started driving. I said bye-bye to him and told him to take his care. And to kill my time, I just began switching the television channels. The channels were boring, nothing was there. And I was just switching it again and again, like a boring man. And suddenly something caught my eye. My past returned when I saw this headline. The headline said, "Unlucky 9 murders are continuing again." I was terrified, I was shocked. I again saw Bimla before me as a hallucination. After so many days, I was shouting like a madman, but I decided to be calm because I knew I can stop these murders. I began recollecting my events recently, and then I remembered that last night, while having dinner, my son said to me that she had befriended a new girl, and the girl was actually his aunt. And he said that the aunt was very good, and the aunt had invited him to her place one day. Just then, I again saw Bimla, and I knew that this new aunt of my son is Bimla's ancestor. I knew it. It was a thunderous day. I called my son and asked the address of this new woman. He told me the address, and the address was the exact place where Bimla lived. Bimla's sisters never continued this, and her daughter had no sisters. My son informed me. On that dreary, stormy night, like the ravens, I headed out in my car to that place, but this time I was not terrified. I was indeed ready to break this fucking ritual by killing her off. I went and knocked like a madman at that house, waiting for that bitch to open the door. The killer would be before me in a few seconds, I knew it. And I was just slamming the door again and again, again and again. And that bitch opened the door. I immediately killed her with the hammer until blood poured out. I fucking stopped the ritual.
You